Okay. Hello, beautiful people, whoever is watching, whoever will ever watch this in the future. Well, I should put some lights on now that I'm seeing, but whatever, it doesn't matter. I'll try to be short. It's actually already 9 p.m. and but it's still daylight outside, so although it doesn't feel like that inside. And I was just having some sun, and I was thinking because I don't know if people are used to, some people might be, but I'd like to talk about the sun. Like, oh, there's so much to talk about it. I didn't make up any ideas in my mind. I just came in and I was like, oh, I was contemplating the sunset, and uh, I mean, I was having some sun and then contemplating the sunset. And every time I do that, I always talk with the sun. That's where I want to go, okay? And this goes back to the ancient times of Egypt and other cultures throughout the planet, ancient cultures that revered the sun as a god, so to speak. And how should I say it? Well, the planet Earth has its own consciousness, okay? It's a living being. The sun is also a living being, has its own consciousness, and of course we know without it, it would be impossible to exist here. Of course, there are many other factors to make life possible on this planet, okay? But without the sun, it would be totally impossible. So I believe that all these ancient communities, these ancient people, revere the sun as a god, so to speak, because it was not only a giver of life, but at the same time, it acted and it still acts. If you communicate with it, if you never did it, just try it, talk to it, and you will realize the shift in energy, in your energy, and you will realize that you are talking to an entity, okay? It's different from you, it's not a human being, it's not an extraterrestrial being, but it is a living entity being just like our planet is, okay? So it's the same thing, but we are talking about the star, a faraway star. Um, but it is extremely, extremely powerful, okay? And one of the things that I would like also to mention is that in school, we were taught about the three states of matter, which is water, vapor, solids. But I don't know why the F, I don't know if that's taught nowadays if, in schools, but I don't know. I always never taught that about the plasmas. I was never taught that the sun, for example, is a big ball of plasma, and everything out there in the cosmos is actually mostly made out of plasma. When we receive, when there are solar flares, we are beamed up with plasmas. When there are cosmic rays coming in, they bring in plasmas. The stars are made of plasma. And oh, now this reminded me about another thing that I might do another video. Shit. Oh fuck, merda. Shit, sorry. It's just because there's something about the light ships video that I forgot to talk about, and it has to do with the plasma stuff. And okay, I will leave it for another time, or maybe I will continue this video and then I'll see if I post this one or I leave it and then I do the other one and let's see what happens, because I also don't want to speak that much. I just want to tell you, just try it, okay? It's like also talking to the wind, for example, talking with the clouds, the elementals. Everything is made up of consciousness, okay? Talking to the mountains, talking to a tree, talking to whatever, even an object. Sometimes I talk to objects. Sometimes, let's say that I have this pen here and I don't know, I, it's not a good example, but let's say that I dropped it in a angry way and then I realize, oh, I'm sorry, I do ask I'm sorry to this thing here that for you might be just a useless object to say, why is she saying I'm sorry to the pen, you know? Or I have beautiful flowers right here in a jar in front of me. And I told to them, like, oh, you're so beautiful today. Thank you for being here. But now I'm talking about the sun. The sun is a huge, I mean, all the planetary system, all the galaxies, all the universes, cosmos, they have their own suns, okay? And so the suns act like, and that's why I wanted to talk about this, as portals, okay? The suns act as portals to make a pass through of energy, of God source energy throughout all these structures, from the micro to the macro, okay? And the ancient people knew this, and that's why they revered the sun so much, and that's why they constructed all these ancient sites where they could be aligned with the sun, because they knew very well how important the sun is. Another thing I want to add is that when I used to be on, I used to call it fake book, fake shit, whatever. I don't use it anymore, although I still have my account there. But I was, of course, in crazy groups with lots of hardcore info and people that had tons of crazy information and experiences. And there was a guy there, I'm not going, of course, to name it, but at that time I was skeptical because I was still a little bit inside of my own box of my own beliefs. But still, I respected what he was saying and I kept it in my mind, and I was like, interesting what this guy is saying. And now I understand. Now I understand it because now, since a few, I don't know, maybe the last couple of years, I started to talk with the sun, okay? And I started to realize the consciousness of the sun, which, by the way, it's very masculine in energy. Um, and you can actually request stuff to them. But going back to that guy said that he comes from the sun. And there are people living in the sun, beings living that are part of the sun, of the consciousness of the sun. And he says he has his own memory connected to it, and his own, so to speak, or where he came from to incarnate then here on earth. He said that he came from the sun. At the time I was like, that's weird, but now it makes so much sense to me. So yeah, I just wanted to leave this little tip. Just, if you never did it, just try it and you'll see how different your connection with the sun is going to be. You can request to the sun protection. For example, you can say to the sun, please send me your codes. When I talk about codes, it's its own genetic and DNA codes, because it also carries codes, geometrical codes. Everything is geometry, but I don't want to go into that because that's very subjective here on our planet, okay? But I request a lot of stuff to the sun. Like when I'm receiving the light, I'm not only receiving the light, I'm saying, thank you, sun. I'm so grateful for you today. Thank you for being there. Please send me your protection, send me your love. I send you my love too. And just make that all the evil stuff and evil energy that surrounds me, that it's been by your amazing and powerful, you know, plasma light or just light, and your energy and your consciousness. And I'm truly grateful for you. For example, just request whatever you like. You'll see. It's going to do a lot of a difference in your life. At least it did in mine, okay? So I'm going to leave it here. Yeah, as I said, I remember talking about this, something came to my mind about the sun to talk about. Maybe I will do a light ships part 3, little one, because yeah, I just remember something about it, and voila, the phantom. Okay, people of the earth, people outside of the earth that is also going to see this or is actually watching already. I wish you all the best, okay? Lots of love, peace, joy, benevolence, abundance, prosperity, health, above all, okay, to you and your loved ones as always. And wherever you are on this planet, I hope you are well, okay? I hope things get well if they are not well. And I hope, as always, you have access to everything that you need, okay? Lots of love to you, to your loved ones, whoever you have with you. And that's it. Take care, as always. Bye bye.